up, YouTube? Jonathan's back in the house at Donalds Trumpets in the Trumpet Dungeon. But did he say no? Did he say Donalds Trumpets? Word. Don't worry though. It's about brass alone. What happened is my dad Donald, when he passed, God rest his soul, left me a lot of really cool vintage horns, and I got a celebrity here that's holding one of them. Got Brian Foote back in the house.
Hey, and the crowd goes...
Ah! Or something like that. But we're going to be taking a look today at this, it's like a 1947 old standard trumpet. It's a trumpet that I love. When I first picked it out, when I first got my dad's trumpets back here, I said, wow, this almost looks like it's brand new, straight from the factory. And I kept it for my own personal horn, but I'm telling you, just how many horns do you need, Jonathan? What the heck? So we decided, hey, I'm going to put this on the chopping block, and I figure I got an amazing musician here in St. Louis. Might as well get him to play a few notes, and let's see what's going on. So jump in. You know your trumpet stuff, so I'll let you.
Old standard model. Basically perfect engraving. This has what they call a virgin bell, meaning there is no damage, no contusions. It's never been trued. Perfect condition. I'd say the flare is kind of similar to a Bach 43, meaning it's a rather aggressive taper. It stays kind of the same, and then it flares really, really quick near the end with this conical shape. Has a nickel silver top to the valve block and brass bottom to the valve block. Lots of nickel on a lot of the wear, a lot of the contact points, like where your fingers are going to sit on the valve block. Lots of nickel. It's got the trombone style lever water keys. Really, really quick feature. You can just, with your left hand, you can pop the tuning slide one with your pointer and the third valve with your thumb.
Clear your gunk.
Clear all the gunk out of there. So since it's the day after Halloween,
Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos, I'm going to play some creepy classical music for you. So this is a bit of Camille Saint-Saëns' Danse Macabre.
Vámonos. So I usually wait like 3 or 4 seconds after he plays those notes because you're not going to be able to hear me on this microphone here. But yeah, freaking awesome. I was standing in the background just trying to catch some of the tones just to get my thoughts. What are your thoughts originally just about playing the horn?
This is a really good commercial horn. Honestly, it plays with a big bright sound. So it's got a really, really big sound. Extremely easy to play. I actually really like this D-shaped tuning slide. A little bit of a slightly sharper bend to that, and that helps with locking together tone production, especially with slots in the middle high to high registers. So through the cash register to the money register, slots extremely well.
I think that's pretty incredible. One thing though, before we jump in to go further into this horn, I wanted to get your impression, just comparing. This is an old recording. We're not going to go too far into it, but beautiful trumpet, plays nicely in my opinion. But we're going to get Brian's comparison. Yeah, opinion versus the old standard. They're
AB.
Yeah, kind of similar era, probably plus or minus 10 years apart. So we'll see what's up.
Yeah. Now, just from the outset, the recording has the offset second valve, which is one of the things it's famous for. It's got a much heavier copper bell, and it's basically just much more locked in terms of construction. This one has the third valve trigger. So I'm expecting this horn's going to be a little more locked in, a little less focused, a little more broad. Let's see what it's like. So this is a much better setup if you're like a classical player, or you're a crossover player if you do a lot of pops playing.
So you think classical, really?
Yeah.
Trumpet's well known for jazz. In
These
general.
are or a small group soloist. Like if you do small group playing, if you're in like a trio or playing a restaurant gig, or you need something, or you need something a little bit darker, more rich.
So what do you think? I mean, okay, so we got two really cool.
Standard.
I love
Standard,
Olds trumpets.
and
These
they're
are my
in
favorite
recording.
manufacturer, I think, out of every manufacturer I've played so far. There's something about it I just think so cool. But what would you choose if you had your choice? Free trumpet. Without all things considered, I'll get into the details of these trumpets.
In a commercial setting, I'd give the edge to the Standard. It's a little bit brighter, a little bit lighter weight horn. Now, if I was playing in a recording session, or I was on a small group gig, let's say I had a trio or a quartet in a medium-sized room, the recording gets the edge because it's got a little bit of a broader sound.
Okay.
So studio or a Standard, a little bit more projecting. Now, if I was in a big band section playing second trumpet, I'd play the Standard. If I was in a combo setting, being the only trumpet, not having to do section playing, I pick the recording.
What if you could only pick one?
If I
You
could
only
pick
got
one.
one trumpet to go.
Out of these two, oh man, probably
You think so?
the Standard.
Okay.
Probably the Standard.
Old standard. What's the reason? I'm curious. I'm gonna put these down.
I find this is part of my teaching methodology. So it's always easier physically. Because trumpet is such a physical instrument.
Right.
So, in my opinion, it's always easier to darken your tone than it is to brighten it.
Okay.
Because from the standpoint of energy, to add energy to the sound, to add air, to add pressure to your chops, takes more out of you than backing off.
Sure.
So when you back off, and this is my special high compression lead mouthpiece, when you back off, you play more efficiently by backing off. And I can more easily darken a bright setup than it is to brighten
a
dark setup.
That makes sense.
See, it's very easy for me to darken a naturally bright setup. So if I only have the choice between one horn, I'd want a lighter weight, more commercial horn for all purposes. If I only had to make one choice.
Sure.
Some people, they like the feeling of having to always push ahead, and this is not talking about the embouchures, but there's players who want to feel like they're pushing upstream, and there's players who want to feel like they're riding downstream.
Sure, that makes sense.
The current.
Yep.
So I'd rather play something that's, and this is just how I feel, I'd rather play something that's a little tighter and relaxed to get the sweetness out of it than play something that's naturally kind of locked in and heavy and have to push to get the brightness out of
That
it.
makes sense.
We're coming up on 10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right. So, hey, real quick. So, great trumpet. I love this horn. One thing to point out on here, though, that I want to get your opinion too, Brian, long term, but there's a little bit of a almost like a crack, right, in the lead pipe. What would you
It
call that?
hasn't gone through, but it's a weak spot.
Weak spot.
I would have a small patch applied or a new
Yeah.
lead pipe for it.
So weak spot in the trumpet. But other than that, I'd say it's a phenomenal horn.
Yeah.
Plays excellent.
Lacquer is 97, 98%.
I did a measurement. It's 96.8.
Oh,
You ever notice how many people are like, there's like 92% lacquer left? I'm like, really, dude? Did you measure the surface area? But I get your point, though. It's a ton of lacquer left. It's in really good shape overall. Just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, check it out. And if you haven't subscribed and you made it this far in the video, you like Jonathan, you like Brian, or you like trumpets, and I'm thinking you like vintage trumpets. So hit that subscribe button. And I probably should say this at the beginning of the
Pound
video.
that bell.
Yeah, pound that bell if you made it this far. Dude, see you on the...
Don't pound that.
Yeah, don't pound that bell, though. See you on the next video. Peace. Bye.